Guys, I'm here with Kelly from JaxKelly. Love everything that you're doing. Personal fan of what your work kind of brings into the world, but today is not about my personal experiences and love of your product. It's really about business and what's happening in your world and what are some of the changes and impacts and the future, and just I want to hear more. So tell me a little bit about not only how you got started, but just kind of like how you got here today.
Well, I don't know if we have time for all of this, but how I got here today has kind of just been an organic process. I kind of always want to bring something new and fashion forward and something that kind of everyone can kind of gravitate towards. And that's what I do, bringing everything here to the trade show. Everything is gemstone, crystal, wellness related. And I always think that whether people know they want that in their life, once they see it, they kind of gravitate towards it and bring it into their shops.
I think that's great. So as far as like how, I mean, obviously we all know wellness, food, health. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm imagining like, you know, moon juice sitting next to like, you know, some of the products. So can you tell me a little bit about like, maybe some of the more unusual places you've seen your products end up, or like, you know, how are people incorporating crystals and candles and gemstones and just like the product into their lives, but like what kinds of stores are carrying you?
Yeah, so thankfully I feel like we fit into a whole array of stores. We sell to yoga shops, bar threes, pure bar, gift shops, spas, accessory stores, as well as apparel stores. It pretty much kind of fits any shop.
I mean, you know how lucky you are, right? I mean, I don't think anyone else here would be like, yeah, we can sell anywhere and have a market and a customer anywhere, you know? So that's like so amazing and exciting. So congratulations, you know.
Yeah, it's unique, and I think that's why it can go into so many stores, because you can kind of give a crystal candle to anybody. People love to receive it as a gift. Citrine crystal candle is a success, so you can gift anybody you know success, and they're going to want that in their lives.
You know, I think that's so interesting, because oftentimes when I'm talking on stages, I always talk about selling feelings and emotions, and there's nothing more powerful than like a crystal and the beingness that your products are really able to share with someone. So it's almost like, who the hell wouldn't want success?
Right.
You know, like.
And I always say, people always ask me, so do you really believe in the energy behind the crystal? And this is what I say. I believe what I put out there. It's the law of attraction. So whether you actually believe in the crystal itself, you're looking at the candle, you're seeing citrine, you're reading success, you're putting it in the front of your mind. And so you're thinking success, therefore you're going to be successful. So whether it's a simple reminder or you actually believe in the energy of the stone, either way it's working for people. And I think that's why everyone's kind of gravitating towards it.
Totally. I also think it's just like a cultural shift, right? I mean, it's like, you know.
Use crystals in their life.
Totally.
it fits.
That's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about just like branding, communication, you know, like how on earth are you pulling off what you're doing? How do you keep messaging cohesive?
That's a great question. We work really hard with branding. I think it's important. I think it's important to also kind of run with what's popular, which is what we try to do. But we work with our social media account. We get a lot of people gravitating towards that. And we have products that are different than kind of what's out there. Like I said, like the candles all have a crystal inside. Our gemstone earrings say that they're sisters, not twins. So no two pair are alike. So yeah, they're earrings, and yeah, you can get earrings anywhere, but can you specifically get the ones that we sell? You know, so I always try to just be innovative and different, and keep our branding in the wellness category, but also have it hit the mass population as well, so that everyone feels that they can use them.
Awesome. So like, what is your perspective on just like marketing and influencers, and like how has marketing shifted for your business since you've launched?
Yeah, so to be honest, I do a lot of our in-house marketing, but it's been organic. And I think marketing is the people that are out there wearing our earrings, or all the 1,000+ stores that we're in, they market it on their shelves and they talk about it, and it's word of mouth. We've paid for no PR. We don't really, influencers reach out to us, thank goodness. I know, and you know, since it is my company, there aren't investors, there aren't loans that I've taken out. Like it's just me, and so I sometimes don't have the money to be paying influencers that I know they deserve to get paid, but for me, it just hasn't been able to work that way, and so it's been organic and it's been word of mouth, thankfully. We have a great following, and our stores do an amazing job with selling our products, and so I think that helps as well.
Amazing. So, can you tell me a little bit about wholesale partnerships? I mean, I think a lot of brands these days are just focusing like purely direct to consumer, trade shows, like, you know, wholesale is obviously a big part of your brand message and getting it out there. So talk to me about your partnerships, like what has been so successful for you out there?
So I feel I almost started backwards, and it was because I didn't know. I started wholesale, and so I didn't know how to run a website. I didn't really know how to deal with Instagram and all the new stuff that's constantly changing. I mean, I still have to YouTube what's the newest trend on Instagram and how to use certain things. And so I started with wholesale, and I started just going store to store locally in San Diego, California first, getting in there, and then kind of literally driving up the coast and just knocking on people's doors and building those relationships. And that's what's helped grow my company. It is the small mom and pop stores throughout this country that have had my back since day one, which was 5 years ago. And so then a couple years ago, we started the website, but all that kind of has grown organically too. So I think it is so important to build the everlasting relationships with your wholesale accounts, because those are the ones that push your product every day. So, I mean, the website as well, but I say start with wholesale. For me, I know, for me, that's what's helped, definitely.
Awesome. So I guess in terms of like, you know, where you want this to go, right? So 5 years is like, you know, it's like, you know, you just put your toe in the wall. You're like, all right, I can do this. All right, like people love this. I'm doing a good thing. I feel it. It's growing. Like, tell me about new product categories. Like, tell me about the vision. Like, where is this going to go?
Yeah. So I want it to keep it going, obviously, forever. We are launching products that kind of fit within the wellness category. We started with jewelry. Then about a year into that, we did the candles. And now we sell ritual kits. We do like cleansing products, sage, Palo Santo. We sell crystal points to put by your nightstand, your desk at work. Just simple reminders throughout your day to kind of shift your thought process into something to help better you. And so I have a lot. I have a new necklace line coming out next year that is going to be super fun and different. There isn't quite anything out there like it right now. So I'm really excited to bring something new to my wholesale buyers as well as our customers on our website as well. But yeah, I want to grow it into something big and beautiful and keep it going. It's hard work. And so I set goals, but I try not to think so far in advance, and I just let things come to me organically. And I sometimes think, what do I need in my life that's different? What's something that I need that I can't go buy at a store currently right now? And then I'll kind of create that product and hope that other people like it, and thankfully they've been able to. So knock on wood. Yeah.
Amazing.
Definitely.
So that kind of leads me into another question about like just product development and sourcing. So obviously you're working with a lot of raw materials, and it's like, you know, Palo Santo. I mean, I was in South America and I was like, oh my God, it's so cheap. I got to buy so much of this so I can bring it back, because it's, you know, it's expensive to buy a lot of these, you know, raw goods here in the country. I mean, how do you approach sourcing?
Yeah, so that is something that I had to, I feel like, learn just by trial and error. There isn't a manual that tells you how to do that. We source our stones globally throughout the world. So we get a lot of turquoise from New Mexico. We get drusies and agates from Brazil. We try to source it where it's mined from. So you're getting it as close to the source as possible. But it's been difficult. That's a big part of my day that I spend doing, especially now. And with raw stones, there's a lot of waste and damage. So we try to incorporate those back into a product then that we can sell, so to kind of minimize the waste a little bit. But when you mine a huge amethyst, and then you have to break it up into little stones to fit in prongs that are certain size. There's a lot of waste. So we're trying to kind of deal with that currently, but it's honestly just been trial and error until we finally get it down. I think our trademark, the Sisters Not Twins, has definitely helped with the waste because we don't have to match them up so perfectly, you know, and I like that no two pair are alike. It's just like all of us, you know, like what you're getting is one of a kind. So just like you are.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just like you. Amazing. So I guess my final parting words are like, you know, or questions for you are more like, you know, retail's evolving. You're constantly innovating and catching up. It almost feels like, you know, between sales and marketing and product development and releasing new products, like how do you keep up with like inventory and keeping in like product and like releasing new stuff? How often are you releasing new goods, and like how do you decide on that cadence?
Yeah, that's a great question. So sometimes the pressure is really on, especially in the fashion industry, and from buyers like, oh, so what's new? And I always say, you know, right now we don't have anything new. These are timeless collections. And so let's give them another shot, or let's try some different colors. As well as to keep up, we try to at least launch a new earring style once a year. And for the holiday, I like to bring in just fun, easy, quick gifts to either be stocking stuffers or something to gift your employees at work or a host of a party that you're going to. Just fun little meaningful gifts that's going to change somebody's day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then I guess one last question. If you were to give advice to some of the bigger brands out there that are trying to be innovative, right? I feel like it's like, you know, it's hard when you're a big company and you're trying to like be nimble and agile. And I think a lot of small business is really lucky, right? As a small business, you can really innovate and push and like make decisions and change. So if you were to consult, you know, a bigger company, right? And be like, all right, guys, like we got to shake it up. Like what would you tell them?
Yeah, I'd say maybe shrink the line a little bit. Stick to just some good core products that you know your customer wants. Sometimes I think, and maybe it's just me, but in my opinion, if companies are just, you know, sending out new products all the time, you can kind of lose that relationship with them. It's like, oh, what are they doing? I don't connect with that anymore. But if you keep those good core products that are kind of aligned with what's happening in the world, I think you kind of can't really go wrong. But I feel like sometimes there is a lot of pressure to just new. And I say like maybe reuse what you already have and keep it going for a little bit longer. I don't think, especially with candles, like that they need to change that often. So.
Right. Well, you're definitely in an amazing product category. I mean, you definitely can have staple goods, and it's not like you're selling fast fashion and it's like, you know, have to keep up with that stress. So congratulations. You've picked an amazing niche. Your line is gorgeous. Any parting words or anything about business that you're like, holy shit, I just learned this or realized this, or what a pain in the ass?
Well, I mean, yes, it is hard. And so if anyone is starting their own business, or any advice that I could give is just don't give up, because so many people will give up. And if you don't give up, you will make it here one day, just like I did. I mean, I had nothing. I was unemployed. I had 2 college degrees I wasn't using. So I literally couldn't give up. I had nothing to fall back on. And so I think a lot of people, the first thing that's hard, they just put it to the wayside. But if you just get through your hurdles and do not give up, and I know that sounds so cliche, but if you just keep going and powering through and it's your passion, it's going to work out in the long run.
Amazing. That's great. And then I guess just one final thing. I keep saying one more thing and then I'm like, all right, we got to stop. I haven't seen any other brand here at the show that is anything like you. And I'm wondering, like, as far as carving out a niche and a voice for yourself here, right? We're in Vegas. It's crazy. It's like everyone needs to have crystals because the energy here is bananas. But like, how do you find that, like, being here and kind of just your response to market this time? Like, how's it going?
It's going great. I think this might go down as one of our best shows yet. I know, and I'm so lucky in that I say that almost every year. But this one, for sure, is might be our best one. I think just humans in general right now need something to distract them from what's going on in the world, and who doesn't need success and love and block negativity and inner peace. And so people are just naturally gravitating to my brand. And so yeah, I think that's kind of what's helping it be so successful, as well as we're different with our packaging and it's wellness, and there'll probably be people that'll catch on, and there might be a little bit more of us next year, but hopefully we're here to stay and people keep coming back. Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for your time. You're amazing. Collection's beautiful. I'm grateful to have your time today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.